Imagine you're walking through a crowded airport when someone brushes past you. They look completely ordinary. They smile, check their phone, and disappear into the crowd. But then you overhear a scientist say, "That might be the rarest human alive." You stop in your tracks. How could one person be rarer than billions of others? After all, there are more than 8 billion people on Earth. Surely someone else must be almost exactly like them. But that's where things get fascinating. The truth is that when you combine enough incredibly uncommon human traits, you can create a person so statistically unlikely that they may exist only once in history, or perhaps not at all. So today, we're going to build the rarest human possible, one trait at a time, and by the end, you'll realize just how extraordinary the human race really is. Let's begin with blood. Most people know about blood types like AB, and O. But there's another important factor called the Rh factor. When you combine both systems, some blood types become extremely uncommon. One of the rarest is AB negative, found in only about 1 out of every 200 people worldwide. That means if you filled a large sports stadium with 40,000 people, only around 200 of them would have this blood type. Blood like this is especially valuable because hospitals often struggle to find compatible donors during emergencies. That's already unusual, but it's only the first piece of our puzzle. Next, let's change the way this person sees the world. Most humans have 3 types of cone cells in their eyes, allowing us to see roughly 1 million colors. But a tiny number of people may have a 4th cone cell, a condition called tetrachromacy. Researchers believe these individuals can distinguish up to 100 million different colors, noticing subtle shades that the rest of us simply cannot see. Imagine looking at a rainbow and discovering thousands of colors hidden between the ones everyone else sees. 2 shirts that look identical to you might appear completely different to a true tetrachromat. Functional tetrachromacy is estimated to occur in only about 1 in every 80,000 people, making our imaginary human even rarer. Now let's make their eyes even more unique. Instead of matching eye colors, they have complete heterochromia, meaning one eye is blue while the other is brown, green, or another completely different color. This happens because melanin is distributed differently between the 2 irises. It's usually harmless but incredibly uncommon, appearing in roughly 1 out of every 1,600 people. Throughout history, people with heterochromia were often surrounded by myths and legends, with some cultures believing they possessed mysterious abilities simply because they looked different. At this point, we've combined rare blood, extraordinary vision, and 2 different eye colors, but we're still nowhere near the rarest human possible. Now let's change something about the brain. Around 90% of people are right-handed, leaving only about 1 in 10 naturally left-handed. Scientists still don't fully understand why. Genetics plays a role, brain development plays a role, and even identical twins don't always share the same dominant hand. Throughout history, many left-handed people were even forced to write with their right hand because being left-handed was once misunderstood. So our rarest human naturally writes, throws, and eats with their left hand, making the combination even less likely. But now comes something almost unbelievable. Imagine remembering nearly every single day of your life in incredible detail. Not just birthdays or vacations, but what you wore on an ordinary Tuesday years ago, what you ate for lunch, and conversations you had long ago. This condition is called highly superior autobiographical memory, or HSAM. People with it describe their memories as constantly replaying whether they want them to or not. Scientists have confirmed only a very small number of cases around the world, making it one of the rarest known memory abilities. While many people dream of having a perfect memory, those who live with HSAM often say it's exhausting because painful memories never truly fade. Our rarest human now remembers almost everything that has ever happened to them. Next, let's make their body even more extraordinary. Most of us rely on pain to survive. It's our body's warning system, telling us something is wrong. But a handful of people are born with congenital insensitivity to pain, an extremely rare genetic condition that prevents them from feeling physical pain. It might sound like a superpower, but it's actually incredibly dangerous because they may not realize they've broken a bone, suffered a burn, or developed a serious injury until it's too late. Many children with this condition require constant supervision because they can unknowingly injure themselves during everyday activities. Cases are exceptionally rare, making this another astonishing trait to add. Now let's take things one step further. Every human carries thousands of genetic variations, but some mutations have been documented in only a handful of families across the entire world. Our rarest person carries several of these exceptionally uncommon mutations at once. None of them grant superhuman abilities, but together they create a genetic combination that almost never appears naturally. Here's the important part. Probabilities like these don't simply add together, they multiply. Every rare trait dramatically shrinks the odds of the next one occurring in the same person. What started as one uncommon characteristic quickly becomes a number so unimaginably tiny that it almost loses meaning. The odds become far smaller than winning the biggest lottery jackpot over and over again. If we continued adding more rare traits, such as one of the world's rarest blood disorders, exceptionally uncommon fingerprints, or unique skeletal variations, the probability would become so small that it would exceed numbers most people have ever heard of. Yet even after all of this, we still haven't included hundreds of other incredibly rare human traits. There are rare immune system variations, unusual fingerprints, uncommon facial structures, exceptional intelligence, unique voice patterns, extraordinary athletic genetics, and countless combinations scientists are still discovering today. Nature has almost endless ways of making every person different. And here's the biggest surprise of all. Even if someone truly became the rarest human imaginable, they still wouldn't be the only miracle in this story, because your DNA alone is unlike anyone else's on Earth. The exact combination of genes you inherited has never existed before, and almost certainly never will again. Add your memories, your experiences, the people you've met, the choices you've made, and every random event that shaped your life, and the odds of you existing exactly as you are become almost impossible to comprehend. In a way, every single person alive is already one of a kind. So maybe the rarest human isn't defined by one extraordinary mutation or an incredibly unlikely combination of traits. Maybe the rarest human is simply every human who has ever lived, each one carrying a story that can never be perfectly repeated. And perhaps that's the most incredible fact of all. In a universe filled with billions of people, there has never been another you, and there never will be again. So here's something to think about. If you could choose just one incredibly pure human ability or trait to have, what would it be and why?